we have two competitors. Cadenza with 2 A's and daaanty with 3 A's. Who is going to come on top tonight on Speed Gaming 5? We've got Cadenza versus daaanty. I'm Sinak, and I'm here joined by Sports Jeffy. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. The winner of this probably gets to keep all the A's and gets to keep 5 wins, which is probably a little more important than all the A's. So they get a shot. They get an outside shot at the majors, so to speak, trying to get themselves a top 8 ranking to join the bracket stage.
Indeed. We've got 1 minute left on this study period. They've been studying the log for 14 minutes. Coming up, they get to make their decisions, and we will see who gets the glory tonight.
Yep, that's the fun of it. We got watching it all play out in front of us.
Oh, indeed. We've got Cadenza, I think, rocking a Geno Sprite, and then daaanty with the pug. Should be a good time here.
Mm-hmm. The pug comes with hover capabilities, right? Is that in the programming? I thought.
Yeah, that's unfortunately DLC. You gotta.
And we are underway.
And Cadenza picking the wrong. All right. daaanty grabbing that key. Could be habit.
Cadenza will be underway shortly with the other location.
Yeah, Cadenza skipping the key.
Not sure if that was in info or just daaanty wants to pick up some later.
I mean, that key can be important if Dark Cross has an item.
Mm-hmm. So the opening sequence is going to take both runners to Blind's hut.
There's our mirror.
Heart.
It's ether medallion. That's the medallion we don't need. Yeah, Cadenza's skipping it. daaanty went ahead and grabbed it. Oh well.
daaanty also grabbed 10 arrows out of the last chest in Blind's hut.
Honestly, he probably just looked to see, oh, I just need to do Blind's hut, and then that was it.
Yeah, location.
Shovel and Moon Pearl. Cadenza skipped the shovel. There must not. I'm suspecting that shovel's probably nothing. But we do have his money, which we're not going to give to the bottle vendor.
And as long as an item's not on Zora, 300 usually covers most of your expenses in this game.
Yeah. Both players are out of there. So with those 10 bombs, we're going to be making a trip to South Shore or Desert. Yep, South Shore.
South Shore, Mini Moldorm Cave. And here's the value of opening up those boxes that, or not opening the box that Cadenza didn't open. She's made up the time back from the miss menu at the start of the game.
Yeah, it's pretty. In spoiler races, the seconds and milliseconds can really add up. But, many moldworms, please. All right, 3 bombs left. Uh-oh.
Okay, this could go very south very quickly.
Uh-oh.
And she has no way to get 2 at once.
Or what did Dante grab?
So Mini Moldorm had a whole pile of goodies.
By the way, in the future, if you run into a scenario like that where you actually don't loot anything after your save and quit, Cadenza, this is a hindsight 2020, by the way, could have reset the console and got those bombs back. As long as you are certain the last time you saved. And Dante grabbed the flute.
Right. So Mini Moldorm was a glove, Burna, and Fire Rod.
Yep. And that was probably your logical... No, it wouldn't have been the logical access because... Yeah, you could have gotten it through the front as well, but who would do that?
Oh, and the hammer off of the NPC. Wow.
Yep. That was a pretty loaded hype cave. I can see why Cadenza's going back. Moldorm bomb strats are like the worst. There we go. Get the double kill.
And 3 for 3 this time around, because that's just how it works sometimes.
Grabbing the glove, hammer, blue cane, fire rod. Yep. And that was gonna. Actually, hype cave would have been our logical access for. Yeah, for that. Yeah, even with the fire rod. Because that's where it was. Yeah, I'm dumb. Don't pay attention to me. But Dante's just like making his way. Yeah, it's Village of Outcast time on Dante's side.
Cadenza planning the next move at Luke, but it's probably going to be the same as Dante headed to. Dante's headed to Skull Woods first, even though it's a pendant and we have the fire rod, so maybe we don't need to beat it. Maybe we need to beat it, maybe we don't. That's a nifty little piece of mirror tech to route that bottle in back into the Lost Woods.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like spoiler races really let you do things like this, right? That's not normally something you would do in a blind run, right?
Sure.
But in a spoiler race, it's a very powerful thing to kind of cue in on those small things, right, that make you more efficient. Like a dummy like me, I would have just like gone up there first, then went back down to
your
the
initial
portal.
Kakariko routing, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, Dante, what you doing? Not using the mirror. Using the mirror.
I don't think he was quite sure where the mirror popped him out back to. Because with the big key in hand, he's headed for the big chest now. For the Pegasus boots.
Booties. Gotta love those boots. That's what I meant to say.
Gotta go fast.
Cadenza is going to be grabbing those really quick. Also opted, and now is going to bomb jump this. There we go. Boots. This death warp back to the beginning, and then go on with your day. Popo, please. There you go.
Dante's going to put that mirror to more good use and double up Saha, Pod, Eastern, the whole, this entire East Dark and Light World section. Especially if he can find the bow somewhere in these spots. Flipper's behind Saha Zarala.
So, daaanty, unless there's like progression that leads to the bow in pod, the bow is definitely here. Or a bow at least. Because it would feel really bad to have to do this twice. Nobody likes double dipping pod. And you're not going to do it unless you absolutely have to. And since you have other options available to you right now, yeah, like bow is either here or in pod. I'm calling it right now.
Cadenza's at the Graveyard Ledge.
Graveyard Ledge.
Yep, it's an out of the way location.
Clearly, it's something. So,
it's the game's first sword.
You know what's worse than having boots? Having boots without a sword.
Right, because you end up bonking into everything that you're normally cutting through.
Yep. It's just like the worst feeling, you know. To be fair, though, there's a lot of things that are worse than having boots. Yeah, there's our bow that we were looking for.
And the King's Damari out of King's Tomb.
Oh.
So the sword was just the bonus.
Yep. So Cadenza had to do that route at some point. So I think Cadenza was like, well, if I gotta go into pod and Eastern, may as well get a sword first. It's gonna make things a little more pleasant. It'll make dashing more pleasant.
Yeah, being able to move things out of your way.
Exactly. Alright. I mean, that puts... So right now... Yeah, I really couldn't tell you who's ahead. Like, right now, Cadenza has, like, a sword advantage. Like, the sword will probably help save time, right? Because, like, right now, daaanty has having to do this, throw pots and shoot arrows at stuff in order to kill them all. Whereas Cadenza's gonna
spin all those popos right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, unless that Graveyard Ledge sword was the one that daaanty's gonna skip, which could easily be the case. Also, Kane
there is a route where, you know, if daaanty just finds the mitts and just takes Kane from Sanctuary, then yeah, he'll just bypass it entirely. 12 minutes in, daaanty has gotten himself crystal number 1.
Unfortunately, we can't dash through pots yet. That'll be coming in an update sometime between now and never. More on the never side. Yeah, the Cane is gonna say Cane is a great utility item. So Cane of Burna can really, or Samaria, excuse me, can really provide a lot of utility. And save you like a little bit of time. And since you have to grab it anyway, the seed's gonna require it. Grabbing it earlier is probably gonna be better. Because it can offer time saves. So.
Dante not ready to head for the ball. Well, don't think he's even got the big key yet, so he got to bonk across here and work his way to the back first.
Vanilla big key? There's something in the vanilla big key chest.
Yep, no reason to work your way around otherwise.
Tarasi. Fantasy points, man. Oh, alright, well, there we go. Did the mitts count for fantasy points?
Well, he is still swordless.
It's true. Cadenza is going to go ahead and fight Armos Knights. Dante currently working his way through pod.
It looks like he doesn't have to visit the back at all. He's just going to head for the boss.
So we have our pod mitts calculated. Just runs out of arrows at just the right time. Yeah, like
efficiency.
Bomb and arrow. Yeah, resource management, like managing your bomb and arrow counts is pretty important in a spoiler race.
Right, that's one of the things you learn when you start running these things is you don't get all the extra little odds and ends that just opening random chests gets you.
Exactly. So the bad news is that Dante's in a dark room. The good news is he has Fire Rod, and that's going to make dealing with these turtles a little easier. He's just going to be able to pop a Fire Rod shot off at one of these torches, and yeah, this won't be a problem.
And even if he got in trouble, he had a blue potion, or he had the blue potion for the Lost Woods.
Yeah, like the worst feeling is trying to go through that room without Quake Medallion, without Fire Rod or Lamp. It can be quite obnoxious to deal with.
Oh, I was right. Dante 10 picked up the big key yet. Back to the front he goes.
Yeah, Dante.
That's gonna cut. That actually might put Cadenza in the lead, roughly speaking.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time I've seen something like that happen. Like, you only get 15 minutes to study the log, right? So you're gonna maybe forget something like that, and that's just gonna happen. Hey, well, at least we got a cape now. Yeah.
Cape's a good bonus.
Yeah.
Little paper plate shield. We're still looking for its key.
Where is this big key at? Is it in a maze room? Must be a maze room.
It's gonna have to be, yeah.
Cadenza's going for a hammer yelp. Or no, it's not. Dante's going for the hammer yelp. No. Yes, he is.
Well, he's only got one shot at this. He's down to 2 hearts. Oh, well. Or he can just take the potion and make a liar out of me.
He'd be good. Get that right pixel. 1 pixel too high. There we go. That looks good. So, a brand new feature of V3105. You can now see the items that are in dark rooms. So, that key, you actually used to not be able to see that key before. when the room was dark. And that is now changed. A couple pretty talented ROM hackers in our community found a pretty awesome workaround for that.
Oh, nice, because it was always it always had to do with the base sprite color. I would assume that created all the problems in the first place.
Yeah, it has to do with like certain certain palettes. On
Which is why
the
it would never show up, the dungeon items.
yeah, it was the palettes that used specific sets. So basically, it was sprites that used specific sets of colors on the palette, or something like that. And I won't get too technical, but basically the game does some shenanigans to replace stuff on the fly in the palette to make that visible still. All right, so I mean, all in all, I don't think daaanty lost too much time. A little bit. Has to do all this over again.
Oh, that's where Cadenza is going to get their first bottle. Very nice.
Yep. Now, that blue potion will be nice for Cadenza. She'll probably put used to it at some point, especially with just the amount of health we've been seeing so far. Daaanty's hammering out his differences with Helmasaur King. I'm gonna go ahead and just gonna have this negotiation here. I think it's going well. I think finally Helmasaur King has seen the point of this conversation.
For the 8th, well.
And it's
yeah, that's good use of the burner to keep himself safe. Until Helma finally calmed himself down to take the rest of those hits. And there's Daaanty's sword number 1.
Yep. Hey, you know what? Not a bad place for sword. You always like to see your safeties just along the way. It's nice when they're kind of like forced upon you, because then you have to make fewer decisions. Even though we'll have to see if daaanty goes for that other sword that we're aware of right now. All right, daaanty, what's your play? He's Hype Cave.
Looks like
Swamp Palace. Swamp Palace is a crystal, but we don't have Hookshot.
Could be both.
First Hype Cave. I still think after these years, I think Hype Cave still lives up to its name. People kind of give it like not the credit it deserves. It feels like still important. So
Well,
Cadenza, she is.
Needed it, so you know.
She's getting up in Helmasaur's face here. Isn't gonna take no for an answer.
Fight's gonna go a little smoother with that sword in hand, able to defend herself better. Meanwhile, Helma just sits. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Almost ran out of arrows. Would have had to resort to like some fighter spins. And that's a Master Sword for Cadenza. And daaanty is going into Swamp Palace. Oh, I mean, is it a left side Swamp Hook? That would be a classic. It's probably worse than that. It's probably not even here. It's probably just something he needs to get to it.
Like a book to hook on Bombos or something goofy like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I have not looked at the log. So but I know that if like Dante's going into Swamp Palace without hook shot, you know that this is a good seed. And
Cadenza's going to make their quick trip over to Hype Cave, pick up their Quake Medallion.
yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, you gotta do this. It's not the most awesome item to have, but it's necessary for Turtle Rock.
Yep. And now she is stinking rich.
Yeah, more than enough rupees for the rest of the game. And based on our equipment loadout, if Zora had something important, we would have had it by now. Instead, we're both going into Swamp Palace. I'm now just like biting my teeth to see what exactly is here. I'm pretty curious. Biting my teeth. That doesn't make any sense.
No,
No.
that would be hard to do.
How do I bite my teeth? That's a good question. I'll once I have a good answer, I'll let you know. Yeah, so this is a spoiler log race. The runners have 15 minutes to look at the spoiler log, and then continue to reference it throughout the race. This is a 7-7 open, defeat Ganon. Nothing terribly special about it. The big key. What is in the big chest? Oh, come on. I'm firing my bot here. If this is the big. If we have a vanilla hook shot. Or what's in here? Of course. Of course. Yeah, don't forget the key, Dante.
Don't forget the key.
Also, don't die. I can hear the heart beeps from here.
Cadenza also down to a single heart. Well, picks up one off the pot, so that brings it back to 2. But yeah, that is 2 real, well, vanilla-ish dungeon locations. The hookshot is straight vanilla.
Yeah, that is like the vanilla-est of hook shots. Like that big key was on the other side, that would have been even better.
Right, because then you would have had to negotiate the crystal switch to make sure it was in the right position.
Yeah, it's like right now, like Cadenza could have left that crystal switch down on the blue position. Could have left the blue pegs down and just like went down south and not had to deal with any of this. It's a little time save. It's not big in the grand scheme of things, but it kind of adds up.
Good game knowledge by Dante, remembering those hearts in those pots to bring him back up to 5 now before the harvest fight.
Alright. So, since Dante is only on Fighter Sword, he's going to have to do spins against these puffs. Getting 2 in per cycle is kind of rough. It's not too bad if you practice it a little bit. One is pretty easy though.
Right, 2 is a luxury that you just kind of take when you can. Like here, he's got to wait for this last one to come around, and Argus is in the air.
Yep, and then... Yep, and then a few fire rod shots, and bam. Cadenza's going for a diver down. Basically, kind of, you clip into this rail here. Using Samaria. Basically, Samaria kind of pushes you just a little bit in the rail there, and then you hop down. And since you don't hop into the water directly below that stairwell, the rest of that is actually not water, which makes that work. So the game doesn't think that you've transitioned into water, and
just treat you like you've essentially
you're on the ground.
Floor.
Yeah.
Bombos off. Stumpy.
Wait, are we going to Mire? And yeah, this is the shovel that... Oh, okay. Yeah, so daaanty skipped that shovel earlier.
Or Cadenza did, yeah.
Or Cadenza Cadenza, she skipped that shovel. daaanty decided to grab it and use it. We have the equipment for Turtle Rock, except for Ice Rod.
Well, daaanty does not. He needs...
Oh, he never grabbed... Oh, he never grabbed Samaria. That's right. Yeah, why would we have grabbed Bombos? I mean, was daaanty opting to... Oh, right. So daaanty realized he needed Paradox Cave first.
Right.
He's got to do this first. Yeah. Not the
nice.
worst.
We're getting out of that fight.
Yeah. Getting Argus down. Claiming that valuable map. And more importantly, her third crystal of the race.
Silver's in a full heart out of the top 2 in Paradox, or the bottom 2 in Paradox.
Silver's not a bad grab.
No. Top 5 is another sword. More money.
That's alright, so blue mail.
And more money.
Where is that? I wonder where that 4th sword is at. Cadenza's deciding just to go straight into Mire area.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a desert clear, though, since they did not pick up bombos all the stuff.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if that Mire is required. Or if daaanty just went for it just to get a full
medallion.
A full swath of medallions there. He also said in racetime.gg before the race started that he was gonna route it like NMG. So there's that.
I don't know what
that would have been
in this context to be.
I actually don't know either. I just said that, like, if you want to do that, just type just type spoiler vanilla instead.
Vanilla.
And that will definitely get you something you can route like an MG. Guaranteed, or your money back. I will refund you your cost of your seed.
So Dante's in Hera.
Spin speed, yep. The 6 spin speed Hera pot clip. And wow. He's magically on the top floor of Hera.
Nothing of interest here, it looks like. Just the boss.
decide just to get it out of the way? No.
Well, Dante makes quick work of the boss, gets the third sword out of the deal.
And crystal
That's the
number
fourth.
4.
Yep. And I think that's the game's fourth sword, so that's all the arms. That's all the information.
Oh, see, that's not too bad then. So
Yeah,
it really, so armed with that knowledge, that's gonna save Dante a lot of time not having to go up to Graveyard Ledge. Yeah, because now, like, we're gonna hit up King's Tomb. Get the Samaria here. And then do something with the mirror. Nah, we want flute instead. Cadenza picking up a crystal. That's gonna be the 4th crystal of the race for Cadenza. It's also one of the 5-6.
It's one of the 5-6. The other is Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
And
so
I think the last item we actually need is the ice rod. I think we're pretty much done after that. Both runners are headed into Ice Palace.
Now I kind of see why, like, so Dante was in the area. So, yeah, that sword would have been a very good reason to pay a visit to Ice Palace first. Or not Ice Palace, but Hera.
Mm-hmm. Question in chat. Samaria was at King's Tomb. Cadenza routed it in early with Graveyard Ledge, which has an extra sword that Dante is not going to get. Dante making really quick work of the icebreaker glitch, just vaulting over the wall like it's not even there.
I mean, Icebreaker completely breaks this dungeon. And I mean that in the most literal sense. It already takes a dungeon that's already made a lot faster by Ice Palace Bomb Jump. And you know what? It makes it even faster. It's great. I like Icebreaker. It's a great
bunch.
Yeah, Cadenza also nailing Icebreaker.
Very smooth right there.
Yeah, I mean, not really grabbing much of anything else. I'm wondering, I mean, unless Cold Stare has an item, like, the only thing I could think of is you have to do it anyway.
Right.
It might just be
See, I think Cadenza's taken the most traditional form of routing, where you try and do the mountain all at once. Because after Ice Palace, there's nothing that they're going to have to come back down for unless the ice rod is somewhere blocked by something in Turtle Rock or something really goofy like that.
Good sound in the shell. Opted to go for Bombo strats. Cadenza's going to have to burn the entire magic meter. Yeah. So nothing in really an Ice Palace. It's pretty empty.
No.
This was just a quick go mode, get it out of the way.
No, Cadenza got an extra full heart early. That's about it. They also have a blue potion if they want to refill their magic and haul off on the pups. Like so.
Probably for the best here.
Yes.
This is not a boss
Nice
you really
triple.
want to die to. So let's see if daaanty puts that bombos to use. Because now would be the time after desert.
Question chat, which boss would you want to die to? That's a very good point. Maybe Landmo.
Like Landmo, that one's a quick one to get to.
Blind isn't actually that bad.
No, yeah, it's just the problem with blind is that you have to fight him
It's
awkwardly.
the reset of the pattern that's the problem, yeah.
Yeah. Hera, if you have Hera pot, Moldorm isn't too bad. If you Hera pot it. Trinex isn't too bad if you take the safety door. Dying to Ganon also isn't too bad either.
Right, because you just drop right back in.
Yeah.
Assuming
Dying to
you still
Agatu is probably the worst. It's also probably one of the harder bosses to mess up. I've honestly, except for crowd control races, I've never really seen anybody eat it to Agatu.
Directly to Agatu.
Yeah. Unless you're already like on one heart, and then usually then you're just playing it really safe anyway.
Yeah, I don't think Moldorm 2's got very many bodies on their record, but they do have a lot of race deciding results just by who gets the falls and who doesn't.
Cadenza is now opting for Hera.
They want the sword to go to TR most likely because they actually have everything to go do it.
I'll tell you, like having a third sword for Total Rock that'll be nice. All right.
So Dante's got their 6th crystal at the 41-minute mark. Cadenza's about to get their 6th and a 3rd sword.
And based on the fact that Cadenza hasn't gone for that Bombos medallion, it makes me think that Bombos medallion, and daaanty's leaving, so it's clearly not in Ice or in Mire.
Maybe it was just for Ice Palace.
Yeah, maybe.
So we have a really tight race.
It's a lot easier to backseat game one of these than actually play it, so I think I'll just be quiet now.
So 41 minutes in, we're going to go ahead and put the runner's information here in chat. Winner gets a shot at top 8, depending on how the tiebreakers work out in their favor. There we go. Twitch.tv/CadenzaVVI and Twitch.tv/daaanty with 3 A's. Also, follow my partner at Synac and the tracker having to click the buttons for a star 14681.
All right, so daaanty's going to be the first one entering Turtle Rock. Cadenza is going to go for these silvers.
Will they get the sword? I mean, it's right here.
Maybe.
And yeah, they are.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, if you're already investing the time here for the silvers. So we have a gold sword versus tempered. Cadenza has a red mail. as well. They both have powder.
Both the powder, yeah. Neither one's got half magic.
That was probably buried somewhere. Which means that, yeah, our ice rod's sitting here in TR. They wouldn't be going here otherwise.
Right.
And I don't think there's really even... Unless it's like a scenario where like Mushroom is in TR, and that leads to Ice Rod, which would just be absolutely miserable. But like the advantage of that scenario, right, is that you can make your way to Laser Bridge. If this is like a giant if. So if that did happen, you could go to Laser Bridge, mirror, yeah.
Mirror and flute away, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm not giving people ideas. I don't know if it's probably just here. That'd be quite the annoyance. More guy asks, so what dungeon is faster, Misery Mire or Turtle Rock? Yeah, Misery Mire, if it's like normal, like if it's like a standard or open world state, if it's an inverted world state, and depending on if you have good key placement for the big key, you could have a very fast Turtle Rock though. But that would only be for inverted or glitched mode. In OWG, you can glitch your way into Laser Bridge.
Right, because you can kind of clip through the railing and just drop yourself right in, pretty much.
Yeah, by the way,
yes, the ice rod was in the lava chest in Turtle Rock. So we don't have to do any of the fancy. So we don't have to do any of the fancy portal saving, thank goodness. But this is definitely a seed made much nicer by knowing the items.
I know, like, so the glitch community, they were experimenting with doing spoiler no logic races, which that would be kind of interesting in and of itself. Like basically it'd be no logic key sanity, which for no logic, actually that's not too bad for no logic. Key sanity is not nearly as burdensome. In fact, it's actually helpful. But that could be a pretty fun thing to see. I know of like maybe like a half a dozen no logic players, so there would be a big market for it.
The real crazies, guys like Christos, and the ones who just do stuff that nobody's even seen.
I don't even think Chris races no logic. I mean, he'll play it casually and occasionally, but all right. So daaanty is having to grab the bridge key. So on one heart needs to exhibit some caution now. But has powder.
If they can get to a ferry here, they should be fine.
Yeah, there's plenty of anti-fairies here. Yeah. So right now I have kind of daaanty sitting at a, I would say maybe a 30-second to minute advantage.
Probably closer.
Probably more on the minute side. Maybe minute and a half, something along those lines.
Yeah, I'd say around a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, excuse us, folks. We're gonna figure out what's going on here. Just bear with us.
All right. So Dante's gotten themselves out of the Trinex fight. They're getting into GT at 49.25. Cadenza is in the Trinex fight. They're on full health and almost full magic, so this is pretty much going to be a cakewalk here.
Did you grab their streams then?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Get us.
Yeah. We're going full radio here. Dante gets a couple of small keys out of the right side. Going to go back to the left, and looks like they're going to make their way going full left. Cadenza's on the crystal catch, about 50-10. So they're going to be into GT maybe 90 seconds back. Let's see, Dante skips the Dark Magician room, skips the map room, going to keep going. Cadenza passing a hookshot cave, nothing in there for anybody. Oh, are we back? Oh, we are back. Okay.
Kind of.
Okay. Well, just stop me if it's all the way back. Small key in the fire snake room. Dante passing up rando room entirely. Okay, so they're going to head to Ice Arm, to either Bob or Ice Armos. Cadenza picks up their two small keys. They're going to go full left as well. Dante down to 3 hearts, but powder in hand should take care of this. Bob. Big key is at Bob's chest. So we don't need to fight the Ice Armos, and Dante's headed up.
Okay, so we have video now of Dante making his way. Looks like he skipped rando room.
He did right. Okay,
right.
looks like we got the main feed back, so we'll go back to this. There's the Bob's chest pickup for Dante.
At 151.35, Dante's up the stairs.
Well, not much for me to talk about on Cadenza's side because we already know what she's going to do because Dante already did it.
We got ourselves a couple mimic rooms here. Mimics 1 and 2. Silver Arrows does the thing that Silver Arrows does.
Good thing about having silver arrows on the way up is you just get to fire them off at anything. Because you only need 4 for the final fight anyway.
And you can do stuff like that. Gauntlet's going pretty well. There was an attempt to snipe.
Yeah.
That's Isaac.
Isaac saw it coming though.
Yeah.
Big key pickup for Cadenza at 53 flat that we hit it up.
And Cadenza starting the climb at 53.07. So, yeah, about a minute and a half right now. 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old Landmo game.
Very nice. Makes quicker work of Whiz Robe 2. No lamp for any of this part. We can give away where the lamp location was because nobody's touching that. Lamp was a purple chest. So no one, nobody's going to go out of the way to do any of that. Especially when you don't have to do Mire Dark. Dante with an extra key up here doesn't have to kill the mini Helmas.
Get that last heart container calculated.
Counting your heart piece is just showing off this mode. Oh, Cadenza was going for butter spins, but having to get the just kind of got mauled by the Lambos before she could get the spin off. Three-shot triple on the first cycle. 5 for 5 on the hits. Got a blue ball in the second cycle. 6 for 6. A perfect, given the circumstances, Agatu fight. So Dandy's going to drop into the game to fight around 56-15. Tempered silver. No half magic, but with silver's magic is the big issue. Going to start by doing spins off the trident here.
Just 12 spins per phase. Yeah. Tanks a trident to the face. Should be alright though.
Yeah, was able to one cycle phase 2. Cadenza's got Moldorm 2 down, gonna about to cross up to Agatu.
Two shots.
Might need another torch cycle here. No, he got.
Nah, he's good.
Off. There's number 4. Oh.
And Cadenza getting the triple.
There's the 4th arrow for Dante. And down comes the bridge to 5 and 2. GG's.
GG. Dante finished this race on racetime.gg with a time of 1:12:52, which that comes out to a 57-minute, 52-second run after subtracting 15 minutes. And Cadenza is gonna now begin her Ganon fight as well. And we're joined by Dante.
Yo.
Yo,
Hey.
GG. Congratulations on the victory.
Yeah. That was not the best way to route that seed, but it seemed to work out.
There were, I mean, there are questions. For example, I guess the Bombos pickup.
Yeah, so I totally did like 3 or 4 log studies before this, and they all bled together, and I was like, I've got to do Mire. So when I went to the Mire area, I was looking at the big key, and I'm like, wait, I don't need to go to Mire. This sucks.
I mean, daaanty, you said you were gonna route it like NMG. You didn't disappoint.
I meant that as a joke, and then I totally ended up not doing. I mean, I was hoping my execution could carry me, but after doing 2 mountain trips, I was like, this is probably gonna either be really close or I'm gonna lose.
Well, to be frank, the boss execution did make up a big portion of what's about to be a 2-minute victory as Cadenza gets the final shot on Ganon and crosses the bridge.
And Cadenza has now finished this race with a time in racetime.gg of 1:14:56. And we're also joined by Cadenza.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, GG.
Thanks.
So, yeah, that was that wasn't the worst seed ever, felt like.
Oh no, in fact I was quite glad for once I didn't have 1 sword on Lumberjack and 1 sword on the boss of a pendant dungeon. So.
Speaking of pendant dungeons, you know, I guess I could have dipped Mire. That was the other reason I totally went and got the silvers first. I was like, this is gonna make Mire so much faster. And I was like, she's going to Mire and doesn't, you know, she's got Master Sword. This is gonna be, you know, a big time save. And that's kind of when I realized that Mire was a pendant again. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it happens often to me that I forgot that a particular dungeon is a pendant. I remember a spoiler race where I went to take the ice rod and blindside out at the beginning. There was nothing in Kakariko. And then just at the end, when I was in my last crystal dungeon, I was like, I didn't need that ice rod. TR is a pendant. So, yeah. I get that it happens.
So Dante, you were happy going with Just Tempered and getting Kane late, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I mean, I like swordless, so I was like, let's play swordless. No, that's totally. I mean, I do like swordless, but that's not what we did. I was just like, okay, I need mitts. You know, my brain turned off. I was like, I need mitts to go get that cane, and then, you know, I'm already over in the eastern area, and I see her, you know, galaxy brain routing, you know, getting the first sword there, and then getting the cane, and
there, it's like, oh,
and I was like, holy cow. I wish I'd have thought of that. It's like my brain just shut off today.
It really was a beautifully routed race. Really the biggest thing that let Cadenza down a little bit was kind of the bosses getting away from her sometimes. You know, having to single strike all the Argus and Landmotu just kind of mauling you. But no, it was very, very close throughout. You both did a really, really great job.
Yeah, I think routing-wise, it was fine. I did a few little mistakes, but nothing too crazy. Like, I went in Skullwood, forgot to activate my flute before, so I went back just after getting my boots. Then after that, went to Graveyard Legend and King's Tomb, so that's a few seconds there, but overall, I think I'm happy with the routing. I come up with. I wasn't ready for dungeons though, so each time I was entering a dungeon, I was, oh damn it, what do I have to do? Where's my keys?
Where are the keys? Where are the damn keys? Yeah.
Yeah, I just decided to not get the keys.
Yes. We noticed that in House Darkness.
That's something that I joke about that to my thing, but it really kind of is my thing now. There's at least once every tournament I play in, I play a seed and I forget a big key to a dungeon. Usually it's Turtle Rock and it's like on the island, but luckily the ice rod was there, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, I remember something I did that was completely stupid. I've read that in Era there was a full art container in the big chest, so I went to take my big key, decided not to do the Era pot since I'm not that consistent with it, and I've opened the big chest and got a compass. I look back at the spoiler and oh, big key chest, okay. Let's forget that.
I saw that on the spoiler and was like, oh, this is going to be great. I can pick up another one. Oh, it's in the bottom. I'm not getting that.
Yeah.
So.
But GG for your win. It was quite a close and nice race.
Oh, yeah, it was a great race. GG to you as well. I mean, this tournament's been super fun. This is like, 3 weeks leading up to, I guess, this tournament starting was like the first time I had really done spoiler as far as like the 15-minute study period by yourself and then, playing it. So I kind of wanted to, my goal for myself was like get above 50% throughout. And, we did that. I kind of hate that one of my opponents dropped that I lost to. So rip the dream of making top 8 as one of the 5-2s. But maybe somebody will be like, hey, let's do a 9 through 16 bracket. Hint, hint. But yeah, overall, this was a really fun tournament.
Do you want one?
I mean, hey, why not? It would be kind of fun to have a bracket like that.
It's like the single limb best of ones. It's like really quick, right? It's
yeah,
like best of ones.
Best of ones,
Nothing
no
too serious?
restreams. No restreams. Like just run them out.
A spoiler Europa League or something.
Maybe at the end of this week I might do some pinging.
All right, well, asking you shall receive, I guess, maybe, but we'll.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to judge the interest on that.
But yeah, thanks to everybody who put this on the restream, the tournament. Sinek, I know you're one of the admins and you're in here, so I do appreciate it. Sports, Jeffy for doing the comms. I think Star was doing tracking, but big thanks to all you guys for putting on the restream. It was a whole lot of fun.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's been quite the ride. Honestly, personally, I'll be glad when Swiss is over. But
it feels Swiss, man.
Feels Swiss, yes. We'll have Keong probably is gonna 7-0 this because Keong.
Yeah. I like the format because you have to play a lot of races. You're not excluded for the tournament in the first weeks if you're a more beginner. So
it's kind of like it's like one of the things I kind of liked over how we decided to do things this year. Next year, like I've already got some takeaways, right? So I think we're going to be getting rid of the tiebreaker type setup. Instead, like if you're 5-2 or whatever the equivalent is next year or higher, you'll just get a bracket spot, and then we'll just use the ranking based on your strength of schedule to seed and determine who gets buys. I think that'll be a lot fairer. That way, then daaanty, you're not stuck in this lurch of you had an opponent drop and now when your spots in the top 8 is at risk and.
Like for the record, 1, I didn't expect to even be close to top 8, and 2, like I wasn't like trying to throw shade or anything. It was just like
no.
So I didn't want to be that guy.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, like it's something I kind of thought about. Like about halfway through, I was like, oh yeah, and by that point, you can't change the rules. At that point, you're kind of stuck with what you got.
Yeah.
So you live and learn type of thing. I guess like We have no more spoiler races for tonight, but we've got a whole week's worth of really awesome matchups.
Absolutely. Week 7 of this thing is going to be tremendous because there's so much movement that still has yet to happen among the top like 12 to 14 for those top 8 spots. It's going to be a great week. Check the schedule here on all the Speed Gaming networks. Congratulations to daaanty and Cadenza for their performances. Great work today. Thanks to them for letting us restream. Thanks to Synac for letting me just mouth off every once in a while in here. And to Star1468 for clicking the buttons even when they do not want to be clicked. You got anything else for us tonight, Synac?
Actually I do. So a little bit of analysis and like theory crafting's been done by a couple people. There is a non-zero chance that we may have a play-in race for the 8th spot because we'll have people tied even in the strength of schedule for the 8th. So if that happens, yeah, we may have to have a race off. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well. That will be a do or die situation if it happens.
Fun stuff. So keep your eye on the Speed Gaming networks to see how that all shakes out. For the crew, and I have been Sports Happy. It's been fun, and we'll continue to do this again later in the week. Saludos, amigos.
All right, see everybody. Thanks.